Luck of the draw.
They're always so cute. Oh, shoot, I have to get the land acknowledgement. Wait a minute. I can't start.
I should have it memorized. Because we normally don't, just because we don't have it. I think it's like up to you if you want to sign it. I'll put time, yeah.
Okay, awesome. We'll be starting in about a minute. I shouldn't even be in here. Printed the wrong thing. Okay, Brian's here now.
I have it if you need it.
I mean, it's up to you. Otherwise, you can split it into 25 lots. Any of the fee required, or ask me.
Okay. Regular meeting, right? Welcome, everyone, to the regular meeting of the Traverse City Planning Commission. Today is December 2nd. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. We'll start with the land acknowledgement. The land on which we gather is the territory of the Ottawa and Chippewa peoples who have stewarded this land throughout the generations. Thank you for your strength and resilience in protecting this land and inspiring us to uphold our responsibilities to do the same. Roll call.
Commissioner Heller,
Here.
Commissioner McGillivray,
Here.
Commissioner Anderson,
Present.
Commissioner Swanson,
Here.
Commissioner Duterte,
Here.
Commissioner Hershey,
Here.
Commissioner Treadwell,
Here.
Commissioners Knapp and O'Brien and Cameron are all absent tonight.
Thank you. Are there any announcements?
None tonight.
Okay. We move to number 5, approval of the minutes of the November 18th, 2025 draft special meeting minutes. Do I have a motion?
I'll move to approve the November 18th, 2025 special meeting minutes.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Support.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. There is no old business tonight, so we move on to new business 7A, consideration of recommending a reduction in minimum lot size for a planned unit development for the property located at 1200 Ramsdale Street, commonly known as the Traverse Bay United Methodist Church. Mr. Winter?
Yeah, thank you. So we were approached by Keel Capital, who is interested in doing a housing development on the site formerly, or commonly known as the Travers Bay United Methodist Church. As you may be aware, it has been for sale for some time now. They merged with Central United Methodist Church in this last year. This particular property is 2.31 acres. The zoning ordinance requires 3-acre minimum for a planned unit development. However, it does allow the City Commission to waive that requirement upon recommendation by the Planning Commission. So that is the question before the Planning Commission tonight. If approved by the City Commission, then the applicant would begin formalizing an actual application that would come back before this body for consideration of the actual plan elements. Now, the applicant did include some conceptual plans of what they're intending to do along that property. So once the question that is before the Planning Commission has been answered, it would be appropriate then to engage in discussion that would provide constructive feedback to help guide and direct the applicant, should they be approved by the City Commission, to move forward. So with that, as I mentioned, that property is 2.31 acres, just shy of the 3-acre minimum. For reference, do you want to stop that?
Please. No, please, sir. It's not time for public comment. Okay, thank you.
So it's 2.31 acres. For comparison, what they have proposed is the introduction of a new typology of housing, which would be primarily row houses. So they propose 18 row houses or townhomes. Half of them have garages, the ones fronting along Ramsdale Street. And again, this is all conceptual phase now. The ones on the other side of the interior road would not have that rear access because of the creek that runs behind them. So they've incorporated some garages on either ends attached to the taller building fronting along Bay, as well as some towards the back of the property. And then the other 18 dwelling units would be included in the building that fronts along Bay Street, which would have interior parking for those 18 units as well. So together, it's proposed at 36 dwelling units at this time. So for reference, the base zoning of R1B has a minimum lot size of 4,000 square feet and allows duplexes, so 2 dwellings per lot. So based on area alone, by right, with no special approvals, that piece of property could support 50 dwelling units. So the 36 that are being proposed is actually a reduction in what would be allowed if they just developed it as individual lots. Now, the reality is some of that number would come down because some of that land would then have to be dedicated to interior roads and things like that. That would take up some of that initial 2.31 acres. So with that, the benefit of a PUD is that it allows the whole site to be planned, designed, and developed cohesively. Without the PUD, the other option may be to divide it into the 50 or so lots that I had just mentioned. The trade-off there is, as individual single and 2-family lots, they would not be subjected to any stormwater management, any parking lot screening, any exterior lighting limitations, any canopy requirements. So they would actually be subjected to many more standards through the PUD process than they would through the simple division of the land into individual lots. So I think that's all we have on that right now. Again, it is a question of should they be allowed to apply for a PUD on a lot less than 3 acres at this time is the question. If approved by the City Commission, I imagine it would be probably 3 to 4 months before anything came back to you because they would have to develop plans. They'd have to go through design team, which is a staff review for input, and then would come back to you for a series of meetings, which would, of course, include a public hearing and then a recommendation to the City Commission. That's all I got.
Okay, so I want to reiterate what Mr. Winter has just said. The question before us at the moment is whether or not to allow an application on a property less than the 3 acres for a PUD. That's what, right now, I want to take comments and questions on, whether we should allow the application. Then later on, it's appropriate, I don't know, is the developer here?
Yep.
Okay, so someone is here if you want to ask questions about the project that's in its very beginning stages. We all know a PUD takes a long time. There's lots of design that goes through, lots of questions before the City Commission that happens. So who has questions or comments?
We're gonna need him.
Okay. Let Mitch talk first.
Yes, I understand that this is conceptual at this point, but how would the impervious surface standards change? Or for background, do we have a number for what the impervious surface coverage for this parcel is right now? And how would it change in either a lot division or a PUD development?
So,
scenario.
we haven't calculated, again, we don't have an application, so we haven't done that level of analysis yet to see what the impervious is today, but the base zoning is 45% impervious, is what's
Because
allowed.
looking at the current development footprint, it's a church, which is a large building, though smaller than the condo building proposed in the conceptual. And it's got a parking lot that is larger than, at least looking at the conceptual map, the access drive and the parking for the houses, but I'd like to have a number for comparison.
And that would come with an application
Okay.
review.
We
Yep.
don't have an
We're not at that
application.
point yet.
You don't even have the number for what the current lot coverage is?
We don't do that until we get an application. That
Okay.
triggers the review process from all the staff members.
Jackie?
I think it would be helpful to me and probably to folks here to understand the reasoning behind the current 3-acre minimum for PUDs. How was that chosen and how has it been enforced?
So I can't speak to how it was chosen because that has been in the ordinance for quite some time. And in fact, before probably, and Brian might be able to remember, but it used to be 5 acres was the minimum lot size. And then when they were working on the design of the senior center, there was an amendment to reduce that down to 3 acres, which is the size of the senior center, and they did a PUD. So I don't know if that's why they landed at 3 acres on it. But it is a good question. We don't really have 3-acre properties in the city, so it makes, that's why you're probably seeing this request come up more and more as people are looking to develop. The 3-acre minimum lot size is somewhat challenging because we just don't really have that here.
Okay,
Brian?
since my name was mentioned.
Yeah, do you have any insight on that?